G'day, guys. Welcome back to the Aussie Gooner channel. And yes, it's new music. Had to change some things, had to do this, had to do that. I've been here, there, and everywhere. Kind of enjoying life, but you know how it is. The Arsenal is back again, and I'm back again, and I'm fucking chit-chatting and this and that and about the Forest game. But before we get into that, I want to say g'day to my partner in crime, Akpos. My man, how you doing, man? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, brother. Good to be on the channel again. Good to be talking about Arsenal. It's been the internationals. We have been doing a lot of content talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria, talking about World Cup qualifying settings. But I think good to have my darling Arsenal in their red and white. I'm hoping I'll be able to get more good football from Arsenal this weekend and get the likes of Eberichi they finally starting in an Arsenal shirt. Looking forward to a win, potentially a clean sheet, and seeing multiple goals at the Emirates.
Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. Look, I mean, over the international break, our boys haven't done too bad. We're lucky. No injuries international break. We had injuries in the Premier League. So, real quick update: William Saliba obviously injured, not going to be here for this game. Obviously, Bukayo Saka out, and news about Bukayo Saka signing a new deal for Arsenal. Big money deal, potentially about £300,000 a week. Much deserved, I believe. Again, another player that's not going to be available for this game. But apart from that, apart from William Saliba and Bukayo Saka, we are looking at a potential full squad against Nottingham Forest. Now, the one thing I want to start chit-chatting and this and that and about is the void that William Saliba will leave and how well will Mosquera fill that void. Now, I'm going to call it straight. Against Liverpool, when William Saliba came off the pitch, Mosquera came in. All right, he came in. And in which game? The Liverpool game. And I'll be honest with you, Akpos, I didn't really notice much. I didn't notice Mosquera, and that's a good thing if you don't notice a defender, right? Now I'm wondering, Akpos, I mean, I know this is Nottingham Forest. I know it's just another game. I know it should be a walk in the park. But the William Saliba thing that everyone worries about, are you too phased about this right now, Mosquera kicking in? Or is it just he got lucky against Liverpool?
Well, for me, I think I've been impressed with Christian Mosquera all the way down from the preseason games because, when we saw him playing during the preseason games on the shots, you and I, the boys, also Canas on the Armory shot, big up Canas, my favorite person on the Armory shot. See if you understand that one. And we were having a conversation about how quick Christian Mosquera was during those preseason game, and I must say we were very impressed with how fast it was for a player who's that tall, who has got that big frame to move at that lightning speed. So that was one of the very first things that caught our eyes, and also one of the things that we could also associate with the style of defending is it's very aggressive, it's quick, and it wants to get in the challenge. And when he was going to come into the game against Liverpool, I thought, oh, this is a big atmosphere, big occasion for a young player to step up. And I was looking keenly to see how he would hold his own, how he would, step up to the occasion, how he would step up to the plate. But when we signed him, when I was doing my research, doing my reading, doing my, my research on YouTube about this player, I saw that during last season in La Liga, when his team, Valencia, faced Real Madrid, which we know one of the best sides in the world right now, got top players like Kylian Mbappe, he was pretty much comfortable against the star-studded Real Madrid attacking lineup. And according to the article that I read on the Athletic, they expressed how he was able to hold his own in the foot race against the likes of Kylian Mbappe, and he gave a good account of himself. So after all of this background search that I've done about the player, when he was coming on against Liverpool, I was not scared, and I was keen to see how he would, he be able to bring those good things I've read, those good things I've watched and seen him do in La Liga, how he would be able to replicate it at a very difficult ground like Anfield. So when he went out there and performed excellently well I was bigging him up after the game, and I was saying that was a very impressive showing. And for him to do it there in Liverpool at Anfield, it's a big, big one for me. And going with the absence of William Saliba now, I think a lot of us, people who do not know much about Christian Mosquera, people who have not read much about Christian Mosquera, can trust him going into the game against Nottingham Forest. And this is also a testament of the quality that we have and the squad depth that we now have. When we have players like William Saliba getting injured and leaving the pitch very early into a very crucial game, like against Liverpool, and our defense is still very rock solid. Our defense is unshaken. Our defense does not go into a different mood. So I think the players we have brought in have massively increased the quality we have in the squad and also increase our squad depth. So going into this game with Nottingham Forest in the absence of William Saliba, we know Saliba, one of the best centre backs in the world right now. But we do not go into this game with consent that the quality in our defensive units would drop. And that is a big plus for us for the remainder of the season.
Against Nottingham Forest, it's going to be key. Chris Wood being a talisman for them, a quality striker, let's be honest. He's on decent form. He's got himself a few goals already. And, Mosquera is going to have his hands full a little bit. I'm not saying it's going to be harder than what it was against Liverpool, but new manager bounce now. Nottingham Forest, Ange Postecoglou, new manager. And to be honest, as an Arsenal fan, I look at Ange Postecoglou and I look at what he can bring to Nottingham Forest. Yeah, it's going to be maybe more exciting, expansive football. Is he a better manager than Nuno? I don't believe so. Even though he's one of my guys, I don't believe he's a better manager. I think he's more suited to the owner, but not more suited to the football team. Now, when I look at Arsenal lining up against Forest, I look at Forest lining up against Arsenal. The other question I have for myself is the left-hand side, the left wing. I've been pushing and screaming about this left wing issue that Arsenal have had for 2 seasons, a left wing issue that unfortunately we haven't been able to sort out in the transfer window. One sec, I've got a comment here. Akpos, shout out. Big up. What's the Nudges Men's socials? Akpos, throw them out there real quick.
Big up the catch up. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, brother. You can catch me on Akbos, the football creator, on Instagram, and also my YouTube channel. It's Football Talk Shop. Football Talk Shop. I will plug it in the comments now, brother. Thank you very much. And I would keenly follow back. I will keenly follow back on the socials at Akbos Football Creator. You see a picture of me there with the background behind me, and also you can also search with the username Akbos_810. That's my socials on Instagram, and on YouTube, the Football Talk Shop. Big up,
my guy, big up. But the left-hand side, again, going back to the game, is going to be key for Arsenal. Now, we all know that the midfield is going to be a pairing of Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard, Subamendi at the back. But the left-hand side opens up an opportunity for Eberechi Eze. If Eberechi Eze could start on the left-hand side. Now, I know, hear me out, I know that, unfortunately, he is not left wing. I get it. But our left-hand side is very much inept at the moment. Right-hand side, Madueke there. Yes, he's filling in for Saka. Is he the same player? No, he's not. But he's had a good run of games for club and country, especially for country. So he's a man in form. But on the left-hand side, we do need to have an attacking presence. And I believe throwing Eze on that left-hand side is only going to help possibly Declan Rice get more into the game than he would with a player like Gabriel Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel, both these players have been rested for the last games for their national team. Now, both of them are going to be ready to rumble. I'm hoping and praying that Mikel Arteta decides to allow Eze to start on the left-hand side. The talent that he's going to bring to Arsenal, what he could deliver in this game, is goals and an assist contribution. Gyökeres is really going to benefit from having Eze on the pitch with Madueke than having Gabriel on the pitch with Madueke. I mean, what are your thoughts? Do you see... I don't see the midfield swapping around. I don't see Mikel Arteta switching out the midfield at all. But Do you believe that it's a possibility that we're going to see Eze start in the left wing? Akpos.
Bro, for me, it's a no-brainer for Eze to start in the left wing because I think you and we've talked at length about how that left wing has plagued us for the last couple of years now, and we definitely need an upgrade to come in. And we know Eze is also very comfortable playing from the left, and that would also give Victor Gyökeres more supply, the supply that he needs. So for me, I've been very vocal about my thoughts about Gabriel Martinelli, and I've said it that last summer transfer window was the perfect time to catch in on Gabriel Martinelli. But since we still have him at our disposal, I'm hoping that he'll be able to, produce the goods for us up until maybe January, and we can, sell him and bring in definitely probably bring in somebody that will be an upgrade or a marquee left winger. But at the moment, I think we need to start Eze on the left at the moment going forward for the rest of the season up until we can bring in a specialist left winger. So for me, Eze needs to start on the left, and because we saw how Victor Gyökeres struggled in Anfield to get supply, we also saw how he struggled at Old Trafford to get supply. So for me, I think playing Eze on the left benefits Victor Gyökeres a lot, because one thing that we can all agree with respect to Victor Gyökeres is he does most of his work in the box. Is that kind of striker that does most of the work in the box. That's where you want him. That's where he's the most dangerous. So we need to put him in this situation where he can put the ball on the back of the net, and playing Eze on the left, I think that improves the chances for Victor Gyökeres to score a lot of goals. So for me, I think Eze on the left, he can also, drop in infield and have Gyökeres move wide if he wants to. I think, that is something they can potentially build moving forward. So I think Eze definitely needs to start on the left for me. And Odegaard, we've been seeing that he's getting some assists, trying to get in the goals too, also for Norway during the international break. So I would love to see Odegaard start in the number 10 position. But for me, I want to see Odegaard playing high up on the pitch in a very advanced role, and potentially have a dual pivot behind him of Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi, where we can just free Odegaard and let him get into those dangerous positions where he could, lay off the key ball for potentially Eze or Madueke on the right side, and Victor Gyökeres through the middle. So for me, I would love to see a very attack-minded starting lineup going into this game with Nottingham Forest, and I want to see Eze definitely starting on the left-hand side, and with Odegaard in the number 10 position in a very advanced setup.
Well, I mean, Odegaard needs to be sitting in a 10. For Zubimendi to be able to be effective, which was nullified against Liverpool, but for him to be effective, the whole point of Zubimendi coming to Arsenal was for him to be able to, key pass from deep inside our own half and hopefully unlock Odegaard. But if Odegaard has to keep coming back so deep to pick up the ball, only to carry it forward, it defeats the purpose of having a player like Zubimendi. If this is going to be the case, you might as well throw Declan Rice back into the 6 and just let him be a 6. Throw Odegaard into an 8 and allow Eze to be the 10. If you know what I mean. So if it's going to be effective, if our midfield is actually going to get up to the mischief and get up to no good, it's going to mean that Odegaard has to sit forward. And this is a big bit of news for Mikel Arteta. He loves his players to move back and forward in defense, understandable. But to have your number 10, your creator, coming all the way back into his own third to pick up a ball and then start off an attack and expecting him to get to the other end and then play off one or two passes to create to get an assist, it's virtually impossible. Mesut Ozil wouldn't have done that without major fatigue by the 60th minute. And if I look at Odegaard now, and when I see him in an Arsenal kit, by the 50th, 60th minute, he looks gone. He looks burnt. He looks absolutely distraught. And I think the work rate that's been expected of him and Bukayo Saka, who's now obviously injured again, it's a bit much for Mikel Arteta. I think Mikel needs to know how to manage his midfielders. Mikel being the number 8, maybe he was tougher, but he wasn't a better player. Yes, you were on the pitch a lot more, but you weren't that effective. Let's be perfectly honest, Mikel. If Martin Odegaard's going to be a number 10, you got to let him be a number 10. If Declan Rice is going to be a box to box, then he's going to have to work like a box to box. Horses for courses is what we need at Arsenal. And the issue that we've got at the moment is Ødegaard coming into a defensive role almost to pick up a ball and start an attack. This is where Martin Zubimendi's been brought in to be able to pick up a ball from his defender or his right back or left back, whichever way it may be, and distribute, whether it's be number 8, whether it be to the winger, whatever it may be. But he's the man who's supposed to be distributing this. He's the guy who's supposed to be picking up the ball and pinging a pass. He doesn't have to come forward, but ping a pass. And we have seen little snippets of that throughout the season, just here and there. But I'd like to see more. And I think that's going to be key to unlocking Ødegaard and having Ødegaard on the pitch for a lot longer. And what I mean by that, and correct me here, Akpos, but by the 50th, 60th minute, Ødegaard is now useless, in my opinion. He's usually by that time completely spent. For Ødegaard to create something after that time, it's good luck. Full story if it's going to happen. And I believe the only reason that's happening is because of their work rate. Now everyone's saying, goes, look at the amount of touches. I don't need Ødegaard to be taking touches in our half. I don't want that. If I see Ødegaard getting touches in our own half, that's a massive, massive mistake. The number 10 should be getting more touches in the opposition's half. I should see a massive heat signature of him sitting in the middle of the park in the final third. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see the heat signature next to the right back, which I've seen season after season. I don't know. Do you know where I'm coming from, Akpos? I think Martin Ødegaard coming over to that right-hand side next to the right back, it's killing him.
I totally agree that we need to have Martin Ødegaard in the areas where he's more effective, the areas where he's more dangerous. I think I would make an example of something that happened last season. I can't remember the team who played. It was Crystal Palace when Ødegaard dropped down deep, and I think him and Partey were trying to play short passes, and we got dispossessed of the possession, and it was Mateta. It was him and Mateta in a situation where, they were going head to head, and Mateta was the stronger one physically and dispossessed him of the ball, and we ended up conceding a goal. So I think Ødegaard is more effective higher up on the pitch, in my opinion, and I would love us to put him in this situation where he gets into this position to make a key pass, taking shots. And also, I think we had a very good chance against Liverpool, where I was wondering why did Martin Ødegaard not pull the trigger there, because he was in a very good position where I thought that if he takes a shot there, he could get that shot on target and it could potentially maybe lead to a rebound or lead to a goal. So I think Ødegaard needs to play higher up in the final attacking third, in those dangerous positions where he could, affect the game. And we don't have to put him in those positions where it would be in physical battles with other midfielders who are physically stronger than him. So I think higher up is the part of the pitch where I would want to see Martin Ødegaard do more moving forward, in my opinion.
The only place is going to be effective. If we want to get goals, if we want Victor Gyökeres to get goals, Victor Gyökeres needs service. Now, look, Nottingham Forest right now, they can be got out. If West Ham can put 3 over them, if West Ham can score all over this team, there's no reason why we can't. Madueke is good enough to score. Gyökeres is good enough to score. And you put Eze on the side there, we've got a front line that can fire here. But if you want your number 10 to be active, right, you want him to actually contribute to Gyökeres, you want him to actually contribute to Madueke. Now, don't forget, we want to score from the middle of the park. We want our midfielders to be able to unlock goals from the middle of the park. Now, Gyökeres can hold up the ball too, but Ødegaard needs to start rating himself. He needs to pull the trigger. Now, I look at Ødegaard now as a guy who's just scored for his country. That's great. But I think he needs to start pulling the trigger a lot more when he gets those opportunities. He's got a left boot. Take the crack. Take the shot. Nottingham Forest are renowned for letting goals in from distance. Goals from distance, Nottingham Forest. That's the one. That's the one that you want. You want the cracks from outside the box. They're susceptible. Long balls, susceptible. That's Nottingham Forest. If we don't go ahead and start exploiting that, then we could see that this could be a very slow game. And that is another thing that I'm worried about. Slow build-up. Slow build-up is another thing. Big up, Brenny. Thank you for joining us, brother from another mother. Brenny in the building. Guys, if you haven't, Brenny
Big
has
up,
his
the
got his
legend.
own channel. Brenny74 has got his own channel, and you have to go ahead, check him out, and subscribe. Brenny comes in again and says, Eze in the 10, Wanyeri on the left, Madueke on the right. Madueke can continue where he left off from Tuesday. Gyökeres will get a few of these, get a few this Saturday with the exciting 4. You know what? That's a good shout. But this is the thing. There's no way in the world that Declan Rice or Martin Odegaard are going to get dropped. Now that, for me, would be great. I'd love to see Odegaard in the 8, and I'd love to see Eze in the 10. But it won't happen. We've discussed this, me and Akpos, before, where Eze plays the 10 and yada yada, but I just don't see it happening. I don't. But if it does, yeah, I could. You know what? All day. What do you reckon, Akpos? Brenny's lineup.
Eze in the 10, Wanyeri on the left, Madueke on the right. Big up. Firstly, big up, legend, man like Brenny. I was watching the stream, fantastic stream with him and Nick. Yesterday talking about Arsenal and some great starting 11. So just try to check out the channel. Fantastic content out there. Wanyeri on the left is something that I said I would have loved to see last season, but I don't know how very comfortable it would be on the left. I would love to see Wanyeri more on the right side, and I think with Madueke coming into the picture now, that could potentially limit the chances that Ethan Wanyeri would get on the right side. So, but for me, I would want to see Wanyeri play parts in the game, but I want to see Eze on the left on this one, in my opinion. So this is where I would differ from Brenny. I want to see Eze starting on the left and Martin Odegaard playing in the number 10 position. If Martin Odegaard is not getting the business done, not getting the job done, let Wanyeri come in and playing in the number 10 position. That is one position also I want to see Wanyeri playing, because I don't want to, put him in a difficult position, pushing him off to the left side where I don't think he has gotten enough minutes yet under his belt. I think he's more comfortable playing either on the right side or in the number 10 position. So these are the positions I would want to see Ethan Wanyeri get more minutes, either the number 10 position or on the left. So I'm also comfortable with Wanyeri starting in the number 10 position also, because I know that it would get it, it would once he gets into those dangerous positions, he's willing to take players on and also willing to eat the football. So I think either Wanyeri starts on the number 10 or he goes to the right and try to fight for a position with Madueke on the left. I don't want to put him in positions he's not really comfortable in. So that's my my concerns with playing Wanyeri on the left.
I think Wanyeri on the left, he'll be out of loop. No man's land. Now, the only reason I want Eze on the left is because right now we don't have a left wing, and this is the best time to test that theory. Can Eze play? Look, we all know he can play on the left, but he's not going to be as effective. He loves to come in and cut in centrally, but that's what I want from a left winger. And I've said it to you 1,000 times, and I've said it to a lot of people, that I need my left wing to be completely opposite from my right. Now, when we look at Bukayo Saka isn't a kind of player who likes to cut in. He's the kind of player that'll either go completely wide and track to almost a goalpost, or go across the face of goal and take his shot on his left. I'm looking for that Alexis Sanchez type of left wing. A player that, as he's coming into that left-hand side, cuts in on his right and then goes direct at goal. And I believe Eze could be that kind of player, because he would be cutting in centrally. It would work. You don't want two like-for-like midfielders, right, playing side by side. And we saw that with Mikel Moreno and Declan Rice against Liverpool. That was horseshit. That was absolutely horrible. And it's the same thing when it comes to the wing. You don't want the same dynamic either side. You want the attack to differ. So if we're going to stretch him to the left, that means to Eze's side, the kind of attack that you're going to get from Eze is going to be a player who cuts in and links up with Declan Rice. Whereas if you're going to switch to the right, where Bukayo Saka or Madueke is going to be, he's the kind of player who's going to drag the left back all the way to the sideline and possibly pull the centre back with him. So that's a different player as well. That's where he can either cut in or cut it back out to Odegaard, who can either take a shot or try and 1-2 with Gyökeres. Whereas on Eze's side, if you're going to stretch, if you're going to pull to the left-hand side, your centre backs are going to sit narrow. Your centre back and your right back will sit narrow. That allows overlap run. The overlap run is Calafiori or Skelly, right? That's a different frame of attack. That becomes an overload on the left-hand side. So 2 types of attack, 2 types of winger. We don't have an out-and-out left wing, but we can play to Eze's strengths on the left wing, allowing him to cut in early onto his right-hand side and to take on his man. And I think the link-up play between Rice, Gyökeres, and Eze could be something that many Arsenal fans are going to be in awe of if he gets a start in this game. Mikel Arteta needs to start this number 10. Now, I know he didn't want him, but he's got him. And now he has to use him. If he doesn't use him, to be perfectly honest, and Gabriel Martinelli starts again, this is going to become an absolute joke. Mikel needs to get off his high horse, in my opinion. Gabriel Martinelli, Leandro Trossard have done nothing to deserve a starting position at Arsenal. They haven't done enough. Now, Eze hasn't been here long enough, but he deserves a chance, in my opinion. Now, I don't know what you think. Everyone in the comments, if you can, please, I haven't asked you guys, so please, if you're watching this back, like, share, and subscribe. Think about subscribing to the channel. And if you could, in the comments, is Eze the kind of player you want to see on the left? Just wondering. Because to be perfectly honest, right now, he's our best option. Brendan comes in and goes, Odegaard in the 8 on Saturday is a good shout. Rice in the 6 and Zubimendi is ideal for Champions League. He'll adapt to the Prem. Now, look, I don't see the problem with that. I think Odegaard is an 8, which is where he'd be comfortable. And we have Eze come in as your expansive number 10 and your tall timber being Declan Rice and Zubimendi given an opportunity to adapt to the Prem. It's a good place to be in. We've got depth, but we need to use it. And the big question here is, will Mikel Arteta use his full squad? You've got Ethan Nwaneri that's sitting on the bench right now. He knows he's going to be fighting for a position or an opportunity with Eze and Madueke. Plain and simple. Because he knows Eze will be the first one to come in as a 10, right? And Madueke will be the one that comes in for Saka. Now, those opportunities are going to be very slim for Ethan Nwaneri. But I do believe that if it's going to be if we're going to take it in this manner where we're going to be using our full squad, then Ethan Nwaneri needs to be given minutes. Now, even in this game, I don't care if we're winning 3-0. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Let's say we're up 2-0 or 3-0. I'm happy to see Martin Odegaard come off if Eze is on the left, and Ethan Nwaneri come in as the 10 for the last 25 minutes of the game. Because Ethan needs time. He needs minutes, and he needs minutes with the starting line.
He does.
I don't know what you think. Guys in the chat, tell me what you think. What do you reckon? Do you reckon Ethan in the last 20, 25 minutes? Tom Marsden comes in and says, so many weak Arteta fanboys still supporting the clown. I'm not the one, buddy. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. Tom, look, I'll be honest with you, buddy. I'm not going to be putting out your comments if you're going to put that shit out here. No offense. I don't want to have to put you in timeout. And look, to be perfectly honest, these two guys on this stream right now are not fans of Mikel Arteta at all. At all. I need him to use his squad. This is his last season, buddy. Trust me, because he's not going to do anything. But I'm hoping that he's going to use the squad that he's been given. There's no excuses after that. No excuses. Well, let me just delete that. So what do you reckon? Ethan Nwaneri, 25 minutes in the game, at least.
Well, for me, I totally agree with your point. We've been screaming on the top of our voice last season saying Ethan needed to get minutes, especially when Martin Odegaard was out injured. And the first game of the season, after the first game of the season against Manchester United, our first home game of the season against Leeds United, when Odegaard got injured and Mikel Arteta brought in Ethan Nwaneri swiftly. I think a lot of us were giving him credit for that. Okay, now he's willing to use the squad. He's willing to bring in a like-for-like substitution. This was something that we expected him to do last season when Odegaard was out injured, and Nwaneri was performing in the League Cup games, and he was putting out a show in the number 10 position. We were expecting him to get, Premier League minutes also in the number 10 position. So for me, I want to see Ethan Nwaneri get this minutes, especially in very comfortable and strong. So I would hope that if we are in a very comfortable position or not, if Odegaard is getting business done or not, that Nwaneri also gets some minutes, either on the right side or in the number 10 position.
Has to happen. None of his favorite shit. Arsene Wenger had his favorites, his Aaron Ramseys and all that shit. And I swear I was so happy when Aaron Ramsey left. I was so fucking happy. That guy was so shit. He was absolute dross. Honestly. But the favoritism at Arsenal, look, at the end of the day, horses for courses. We just need 3 points. Every game, 3 points. And Martin Odegaard, I think the only way we're going to get the best out of him is if he plays as a 10. He plays further up the pitch. He can't be playing the number 8, number 10 role. It doesn't work. It doesn't. And that's up to Mikel Arteta to get his head out of his rear end and understand that if you're going to have your creative midfielder running up and down the pitch like a number 8, then guess what? You're going to burn him out completely. And then when it comes to the 60th or the 55 minute, when he's absolutely useless and completely burnt out, there's nothing left. Odegaard is not that player. But I don't think many of the players are going to be. This is how you burn players out. So the key to Arsenal actually getting these goals is quick in transition. And if you want quick in transition, this is where we use Zubimendi. Zubimendi is renowned for breaking up defenses with key passes to attackers, to his number 10, to his wingers, switching play. He can direct the play, but we need to be able to take the game to Nottingham Forest. We can't be lackluster. The way we are playing at the moment is not great for the eye. It is slow. It's lethargic. And I know it's breaking teams down, but we haven't started off this season in a manner, as Arsenal fans, that we can be ultra positive about. I think we've all looked at the game against Man United and we just sat there and goes, what the hell were we doing there? Right? Leeds is a different story. But Liverpool, we went there to defend. Now, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't want to see Mikel Moreno on the pitch. I don't care how many goals he scored for Spain. Because in the middle of the park, for Arsenal, he's useless. Absolutely useless for Arsenal in the middle of the park. Now, if he proves me wrong throughout the season, I'll be first to call myself out and say, hey, Steve, you fucked up. But right now, I'm sorry, on form, he's not the guy. But if we want to move forward and we want to take the game to Nottingham Forest, the only way we can do it is to play classic football. That means you allow the 6, your ball playing 6, the guy that you brought in to be a ball playing 6, to be the ball playing 6. Allow him to open up and unlock Odegaard and the right-hand side, and if not, open up the left. And the only way we're going to see anything on the left is with Eze. And the only way we're going to see anything on the right-hand side is with Madueke and Odegaard. And Odegaard needs to collect this ball from now on just past the center point of the pitch. Because if he's coming all the way back to Urian Timber to pick up the ball, for Urian Timber to go from the right side to go in, for him to then pass the ball just after the sideline to Madueke, for Madueke to dart up the right-hand side of the pitch, what's he going to have to do then? He's going to have to bomb up with him. And then when Madueke loses the ball, he has to run back. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Doesn't work that way. Guys, when we're attacking off the wing, I'm not here to discuss tactics, but when we attack off the wings, we all know it's going to be right back to midfielder to winger. That's classic. It's out, in, out. And Odegaard's just going to get absolutely destroyed. And this is what we're seeing from him. So I hope that we're going to be quicker in the transition of play, unlock Odegaard, unlock Madueke. I'm not saying he's a great player. I'm not stunned for Madueke. I'm not jumping for joy for Madueke. But we can use him in the right fashion. We can use Eze in the right fashion. But we need to have 2 wingers that can take the ball into the box. Because there's one guy in that box that I haven't talked about yet, who is in the thumbnail that I'm going to talk about right now. And it isn't Chris Wood, because I already covered him. But it's Victor Gyökeres. Victor Gyökeres in this game just needs service. That's it. A little bit of service, and Gyökeres will get a brace. That's all he needs in this game. As an individual, you saw him against Leeds. That ball that he got, if you remember against Leeds, there was a lot of work to do, Akpos, a lot of work to do. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, he took on one player, two player, and slotted into the back of the net without a drama, without a problem. And that's the kind of player we've been looking for all these years. For Gyökeres to be effective, the only way we can make him be anywhere near effective is to have two wingers that are going to unlock him. Now, Odegaard will be great, but I think the wingers are going to be key to his success. Brenny comes back in. He says, if we play football in 22-23 and second half 23-24, we'll win the league. Oh, guaranteed, because 22-23, we were going hard. We were hitting teams in the break. They'd score a goal against us. 2 minutes later, we'd score a goal against them. That was different world, man. That was different world football. That was expansive, exciting football to watch. Still didn't lead us anywhere, but it was good to watch. Tony Claude Gunner TV in the building says, smash the likes, big up my guy. I hope you're doing well. Ladies and gentlemen, this man has got himself a channel. You got to check him out. Everyone in this chat has got a channel. My YouTube family is coming to support me. I'm much appreciated. Much appreciated. Guys, the road to 2K begins. I'm climbing. I'm getting there. There's going to be a watch along to this game. I'm telling you guys now. I'm watching this game live. You guys can have a watch along with me. I ain't done one in a while. I haven't. But you know what? I will. For this game, I'm going to do a watch along, right? The last watch along I did was with Northside. I'm going to do a watch along to this game. So you're going to see me break shit, right? You're going to see things go flying everywhere. Because if I see a lineup of bloody Gabriel Martinelli on the left-hand side, it ain't good. It ain't good. There's going to be broken things everywhere. I'm telling you, scorched earth in Australia. I don't want to see Gabriel Martinelli anywhere near the pitch at all. He can warm up. He can run up and down. But he doesn't have to be on the pitch to run from post to post. He can do it on the sideline. Hand out drinks. But I don't want to see him in an Arsenal kit starting at all. Let me know, guys. Would you guys rather Eze on the left? Or would you rather have Trossard on the left? Because I know Martinelli isn't going to be the guy. Now, I'm going to get into my predicted lineup. What I would want for the starting line. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys have already heard what I think is going to happen. Right? What I would want. But let's go from goal. Obviously, it's going to be David Raya. Right? Jurrien Timber on the right. Thank God he's back. That is key to our success because Timber is a wonderful player. God, what a right back, left back, centre back he is. Mosquera is coming in for William Saliba. Now, he did great against Liverpool, and I believe with Timber and Gabriel beside him, he'll be able to handle the pressure that Chris Wood is going to be on him. Because you best believe Chris Wood is not going to be pushing on Gabriel. He will be trying to get Mosquera. He'll be looking at him and saying, you know what? Let's see if I can argy-bargy through Mosquera. On the left-hand side, I'm going to say Calafiori. The only reason is because I want to see a starting left back. And I think Calafiori is going to be our guy. And I think in this game, we can get away with Calafiori. Not to say that Miles Lewis-Skelly can't come. In the sixth, it's going to be Martin Zubimendi. The reason why I want Zubimendi in there is because I want to see our midfield trio come together. Our starting line trio. I want Zubimendi to be the six that he was supposed to be when he was purchased. So what was he here for? To unlock Odegaard and to be able to release balls deep from our third and into either the wing or the midfielders in attacking positions. Now, the next midfielder that I want to see in there is Declan Rice. I don't want to see Mikel Moreno. I know Mikel Moreno scored 4 goals for fucking Spain. I get it. He's great for Spain. In the midfield, he's not good for Arsenal. Now, maybe in this game, he'll be effective. It'll be a little bit slower. But I need a faster pace. And I don't think Mikel Moreno's got that for me. In the number 10, I want Martin Odegaard. The number 8, the number 10. But I do want to see Martin Odegaard in advanced positions, just like Akpos was saying. The only way we're going to get anywhere in the middle of the park or anywhere in this season, is to see Martin Odegaard played as a 10 and more advanced. On the left-hand side, not the right, on the left, I want to see Eze. I don't want to see Gabriel. I don't want to see Trossard. I want to see Eze. Eze deserves a start at the Emirates, and I think this is a game where we could expose Nottingham Forest. Having him cut in on the right-hand side, which is going to be different to Madueke, could be key to Gyökeres even scoring. I think if Eze starts, there's a goal and an assist in this game for Eze. I'm telling you all day. On the right-hand side, obviously, it's going to be Madueke. We don't have any other options apart from him and Wanyeri. I think Madueke is going to be able to score if Odegaard is allowed to play further advanced up the pitch. And last but not least, the only striker we actually got fit, the only one. We don't have any other strikers, guys. Cool story, right? Gabriel Jesus, Kai Havertz, both injured. Victor Gyökeres, the number 14 for Arsenal to start again, hopefully get himself a brace because I need 2 goals from him. I want him to get 100%. I want a goal per. I want it to look like a goal per game. I want it to look like a goal per game for Gyökeres. But that's my starting line. Now, I don't know about you, Akpos. What's your starting line? I threw my one out there. What's your starting line?
Well, for me, obviously, Victor Gyökeres has to start. Like you rightly said, is the only fit number 9 we have got right now, and we also want him to get as much goals as possible. I think that keeps us, one step closer to achieving silverware this season. So Victor Gyökeres has to start in the number 9 position. I started by saying I wanted to see Eze starting on the left because among all the left players who we have at our disposals right now that can play on the left, I think is the better one amongst all the other options we have. So Eze starts on the left. Saka, I would not want to rush him, even though we know we've been hearing good news. I would want to cool things down, let him take his time and recover fully. So I would want to see Madueke starting on the right side. And I think it's a good thing that he had a wonderful time with the 3 Lions during the international. So Madueke comes into this game with confidence, with good form and high spirit. So Madueke starts on the right side for me. Martin Odegaard also starting in the number 10 position. And I will want to see, I said I want to see a dual pivot. So for me, my setup will be 4-2-3-1, which can, when we are without the ball, we are 4-2-3-1. When we are with the ball, we are pretty much in a 4-3-3 shape. So I want to see dual pivot of Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi behind Martin Odegaard, who will be in a very advanced midfield position. And also on the left side, I want to see Ricardo Calafiori coming in to play on the left side as the left back, because I think so far this season he has started the season strong. And if it's not faulty, I don't see any reason why we have to change it for now. But we know that definitely we need to manage the minutes and all of that. But I would want to see Calafiori starting in a left back position. And Gabriel played 1 game for Brazil, did not start against Bolivia in the other game, which I think, Carlo Ancelotti wanted to give him some rest. And also, I want to see Gabriel starting because I think he's the key leader in that defense, is the one that keeps that defense glued together. So Gabriel starts, and Christian Mosquera starts with him. And also in the right back position, I want to see Urian Timber starting in the right back position. And in goal, of course, obviously, David Raya has to start. So that's my starting lineup. I don't know. I missed the whole part of your starting lineup. Did we just drop the exact same lineup?
We just dropped it. Like, and you know what's funny? Everyone who's watching this back saw you disappear. All right, and now we've got the starting lineup. All right, because we both picked Calafiori for the left. Rennie's come in and given us his starting lineup. He's got Raya Timber, Mosquera, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly, which is not a bad shout. Rice, Odegaard, Eze, Madueke. He's playing Rice as a 6, Odegaard as an 8. I like this. Eze as the 11, Madueke as the 7, Wanyeri as the 10, and Gyökeres as the 9. Now, that is a good shout. Now, look, there's no reason why we couldn't do that apart from Mikel Arteta. That's the only reason that we don't do things like this. Mikel Arteta. And he's stuck in his little shitty ways. But don't worry, guys. If he keeps going the way he's going, this will be the last season. And we won't have to deal with his bullshit ever again. But if he utilizes his squad, who knows? Who knows what could happen, Akpos? There could be victories. There could be points. There could be fun times. There could be expensive football. But that is a very nice lineup. I mean, look, to be honest, Lewis Skelly in this game would have a great time. The only reason I think I want Calafiori to start over him is because I know that Calafiori has been brought in to play that left back. And I think the only way we're going to see the best of him is for him to get minutes with the starting line. Hence the reason why I'd want that. I'd love to see Odegaard play the 8 and Rice to sit on, and either Rice or Zubimendi to start as a 6. But with Zubimendi coming in just recently and Rice being worth over 100 million, right? It's hard to justify. And I think the only way we're going to see Rice or Zubimendi, either or not being on the pitch, is if Arsenal start to show a poor run of form where we have to start playing around. But you know what? I like that lineup, man. I like that lineup. I really do. Honestly, anyone else has got their lineup, I'll be happy to drop it on there because, I mean, there's so many different options. So many different options that we could have as starting lineup for Nottingham Forest and still be effective. So everybody, look, we're still here. Drop your lineups in the comments, and me and Akpos will go through them and give us your and give you our opinions. What did you think of this lineup, Akpos?
I big up the legend Brady. Firstly, Raya starting on goal. I love it. As I think that also confirms what we've been saying about the number one position. For now, Timber is starting on right back. Mosquera comes in the right centre back. Gabriel also left centre back. Lewis Kelly. I don't have a problem with Lewis Kelly or Ricardo Calafiori starting this one, but I think Calafiori has made a good account of himself so far the start of this season. We also saw how he kept Mo Salah quiet, but I think this also tells us the quality we have now. Either of them comes in and play, we are not worried that the quality will drop. But I think where a lot of us are leaning towards the side of Ricardo Calafiori right now is what it gives in terms of being a traditional fullback. He can bump up the pitch and can put in crosses in. Whereas Mikel Arteta wants Miles Lewis Kelly to invert infield to increase the numbers in midfield, and that's also one of the reasons why our left wing has also struggled. So I want to see Calafiori playing as a traditional fullback. But if Mikel goes with Miles Lewis Kelly starting, I don't have a problem with it. Fantastic player. He also gave a good account of himself last season, had fantastic games against the likes of Real Madrid, and it's been a revelation for this team. So Calafiori or Lewis Kelly, I'm totally fine with either of them starting. And we've also talked about, not having our midfield too much in a defensive style. And this midfield that Brenny has gone with is a very offensive-minded midfield, and something a lot of us want to see going into this season, where you have both Odegaard and Eze in the midfield with one number 6 of either Declan Rice or Martin Zubimendi starting. But I think I would love this lineup, but I don't think Mikel Arteta would want to keep either Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi out of this one. That's just my opinion with respect to the pattern and the style I've seen from the manager over the last couple of years. So, but I would love to see a midfield tree of either one number 6, in my opinion, Rice or Martin Odegaard. Either of them can play in the number 6 position. Rice or Martin Zubimendi in the number 6. Then Odegaard and Eze as number 10s, or one of them playing as a number 8 and the other playing as a number 10. And where I would disagree with this, the only area I disagree is playing Ethan Nwaneri on the left. If Ethan Nwaneri is also going to start on the right and Madueke on the left, that's also another good one for me. And also another variation I would also want to do with what Brenny has put out there is having Eze on the left and Nwaneri and Odegaard in the midfield position, while Madueke plays on the right. I think that's also something I want to see. I thought we were screaming for this last season, saying Mikel Arteta should play midfield of Nwaneri and Odegaard. Let's see what two very offensive-minded players will do in our midfield last season. I would also want to see that happen this season, either Nwaneri and Odegaard or Nwaneri and Eze. But with this particular lineup, I would also want to see maybe Nwaneri coming into the midfield and Eze going to the left. So it would be the midfield of Rice, Odegaard, and Nwaneri.
That's a fair shout. That's a fair shout. I mean, look, the one thing that we haven't really discussed is, and I thought I'll throw it out there. In the final 15 or even 20, we still got a young player in Max Dowman.
Exactly.
And Dowman coming in for Madueke late could still mean that if we don't go with a starting line with Nwaneri, that Nwaneri comes in for Odegaard before Dowman comes in for Madueke. And that changes the dynamic completely. Dowman can't wait to take on players, and players will be fatigued, and there's not much you can do but foul him, which has been pretty much what teams have been doing. It's literally just take him out. There's not much we can do. And this gives an opportunity, because if Eze was to start on the left, let's say Eze was to start left-hand side, and we go in to the final 25 minutes of the game, it opens up the door for Wanyeri to come in as a 10, Erdegaard to come off, Eze to stay as the 11, and maybe in the final minutes throw Max Dowman in. I mean, he is like, I don't know, he's like an ace card. You can throw him in there, a joker, and just see what you get. Because to be honest, I believe that, look, in my opinion, I think that he could really have an impact in this game. I think Nottingham Forest could be got at with Max Dowman, with Wanyeri. We've just got so many options. But I want to see, what I really want to see, what I'm trying to get at, is in a game like this against Nottingham Forest, for us to utilise our squad and to allow minutes to be handed out to Wanyeri, to be handed out to players like Max Dowman, to be handed out to Eze, and not for the same old, right? So I don't want to see Gabriel Martinelli. I don't want to see Leandro Trossard, players that don't deserve to be on the pitch. I do want to see an Eze. I do want to see a Madueke, right? And again, with Brenny's lineup, you can't knock this. Lewis Skelly, yeah, you could throw him in there. You could definitely throw him in there. But again, it does change the dynamic. And if Eze is to start, if Eze was to start on the left wing, let's say, then it would nullify the left side because you'd have Skelly and Eze both cutting in at the same time. Eze wouldn't go wide. So that would change things. This would be more suited to a player that's going to be stretching out the wing. So that would be like, I hate to say it, but that would be like a Trossard who'd work better with Skelly because Trossard can go wide. I don't see Eze wanting to go as wide. He'd want to cut in. Again, if Eze was to come in on a wing, he would be Alexis Sanchez-esque, where he would cut in, take a shot from outside the box, which would test Forest because they are susceptible to shots from outside the box. They are. So, I don't know. I look at this game as an opportunity for Arsenal to go in there, get 3 points and get out. It'll be Ange Postecoglou's first game in charge of Forest and his first loss. So, look, hopefully Mikel Arteta can utilise his squad, can give Max Dowman, can give Wanyeri an opportunity because we've got the players, we've got the team. We're ready to rumble. We just need to take the game to Nottingham Forest and enough with this slow build-up. But I reckon we should get into the nitty-gritty, Akpos. I think we need to put our predictions for this game in now. So I'm going to go first. I'll go. Yeah. I'm predicting a 3-1. I'm predicting that Victor Gyökeres will be one of our scorers. I don't think he'll get 2, but I think he'll get 1. I think if Eze starts, he'll get himself a goal and an assist. And I think our final goal, for some weird reason, is going to come from Declan Rice. That's all. I believe our goals are going to be 1, 2, and 3. That's what I think. I think, you know what? I think it's going to be 3-0. I don't think they're going to score. I don't think they're going to score against us. I think Chris Wood's going to have a hard time. What are your thoughts? What do you reckon?
Well, I'll predict a 2-0 victory or a 3-0 victory because I think this will be a comfortable game for us. And I fancy our defense to keep a clean sheet. I also fancy David Raya to get yet another clean sheet under his belt because I'm tipping him to go all out also to win the Golden Glove another season again. So I think this is a game where we need to show defensive solidity. And I fancy Victor Gyökeres getting a goal. And like you rightly said, I want to second that if Eberechi Eze starts this game, I'm expecting him to get a goal or an assist. So I think a comfortable win for Arsenal if we start very early to play very offensive-minded football, and we also show on the pitch that we want it more. I think we could easily put this 3 points in the bag, and probably maybe we might even see more goals. So, but I think I would want to also show some respect to the Nottingham Forest team, and I hope we keep the likes of Chris Wood quiet. I feel like they're also weakened, coupled with the fact that their right back, Ola Aina, picked up an injury while playing for the Super Eagles. I don't know how serious that injury is, but it was not able to continue very early into the game. So I think it would also put a hole in their right back position because Aina has been very consistent for Nottingham Forest over the last couple of seasons. So for me, I think that weakens their right back position, and I would fancy Eze to give whoever starts in that right back position a lot of trouble, a lot of wahala, as we'll say it in Nigeria. So 2-0 victory or 3-0 victory for Arsenal, and that clean sheet for me is very important.
No, look, me too. I want to see goals and I want to see clean sheets. And guys, ladies, gentlemen, look, do me a favor. In the comments below after the stream, or even now if you want before we leave, because I'll go through them. I'll go through them. If you guys put a line up there, we'll go through it. But if you don't, and we finish up the stream, do me a favor in the comments. Give me your not your predicted lineup, your lineup. I don't want the predicted lineup because we know what Mikel Arteta does. I want to know what you want to do. We've got all these players. We've got all these possibilities. What do you want to see? What players do you want to see on the pitch against Nottingham Forest? Because there are so many different possible variants that we can put together here with the squad that we have, because we do have squad depth. So I'm really interested to get your thoughts in regards to a starting lineup against Nottingham Forest. But before we take off, Akpos, can you please let everyone know where they can find you, my friend?
Well, excuse me. Thanks for having me once again on the channel, my brother, and big up, fantastic stream. Thanks. Shout out to everybody who were in the comments today, the catch up, Brenny, and everyone else, bigging up the show, everyone who's liked the stream. And if you've not subscribed yet to the channel, please support the fantastic work Osiguna is doing here on the channel. And we're on the road to 2K subscribers. So your support is highly needed to help this channel achieve yet another milestone. So press that subscribe button, turn on the notification button. You can find me here on the channel where I'm always jumping on with my brother Steve each and every time. And you can also find me on Football Talk Shop. Steve and I, we are going to be also previewing the game yet again on my channel, the Football Talk Shop, tomorrow, thereabout around the same time as our today's show. So please come over to my channel also and support your boy. It's just a channel that's at the infancy stages. I've been doing a lot of work in my other channel. I'm trying to grow this one now. So I think this is a channel for each and every one of us. Just up on the channel and leave the subscribe button and also leave us a comment and hopefully join us for the preview show tomorrow around the same time. Well, thanks for having me, my brother.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure. Look, everyone who's joined us, thank you very much. And Brenny's come in, give me his prediction. He says 2-1 to the Arsenal. You know what? 3 points. And you're thinking they're going to score one. You think Chris Wood's going to get one. Well, I hope he doesn't, that Kiwi. But look, guys, thank you for joining me. I know it's been few and far between, but like I was saying, I am going to do a watch along to this game. I'm going to do a watch along. I said I'm going to do a watch along. I'm going to be watching this game along. And if I see Gabriel Martinelli starting,
you might also see a word beater. You might also see a word beater starting and Mikel Merino.
Oh man, I'm telling you now. Oh, Adam's in the building. Eze has to start. Player. Tell me about it, Adam. That's what we've been discussing. Eze has to start. He has to start. No way can Gabriel Martinelli get on the damn pitch, mate. Oh, big up yourself. Thank you very much, Brenny, man. Muchly appreciated. But yes, look, I will be doing a watch along for this game. I'm going to set up a nice little thumbnail and all that. And we can watch this game together. And you guys can watch me go insane if I see Gabriel Martinelli on the pitch. And he'll do absolutely nothing. And he'll probably get subbed after the 75th. But anyway, hopefully I'm wrong. But look, from the Aussie Gooner, thank you very much for joining us. And look, again, don't forget, give me your lineup. Not the predicted lineup, your lineup. In the comments below. Uru, guys. Uru.